Well, hey everyone, time for Puzzle Talk, geocaching puzzle podcast brought to you by the Geocache Talk Network. If you'd like to become a patron, click on the Become a Patron link on the front page of the Geocache Talk website, or head on over to patreon.com/geocache talk. For more details, patrons get the now famous blackout coins and other geocaching items during the year, as well as bonus content, invites to special events only for patrons. Support levels start at as little as Bison Tube level, which is $3 a month. So here are your hosts, Charles Watkins and Tom Brotherman. Take it away, gentlemen.
No, he's over there. This is weird. No, and then he's down there.
He's over there.
All right.
That's coming in later, right?
That's right.
That's later.
Right. But not too far later.
Not too far later.
That's right. This is, hey, Gary, jumping back to this Patreon thing, if people wanted to become a patron and go to the homepage, what is the symbol on the homepage for them to look?
Oh, very good. I like how you tied that right into the show there, buddy. Yeah, it's a heart. It's the heart. I can't make a really good heart. I know people do it like that, but I don't know if that's really a good heart. But yes, it is a heart. So, hey, boys, you want to do some news real quick?
Yeah, let's do some news.
Do a lot of news so I can eat my French fries.
News. Couple things coming up. Podcast of Hope is December 6th. So I want to always kind of mention that because I want people to really be on top of that. Make your plans now to be part of the event, because it really is for everyone. We raise money for St. Jude every year. We're goal this year, I think, is going to be 8,000, but I kind of like to see more than that. It'd be great. But it's going to be fun. It'll be a great 8-hour podcast. Start at 4 p.m. and go to midnight. We're working feverishly on items for that. We already have a lot of vendors who have given away some free stuff, and we basically give those away as prizes to folks who give during certain hours. So some people who are clever will take their amount that they'd like to give, and they split into however many hours they're going to watch. But you don't have
8.
You don't have to do that. Hopefully they're going to watch 8, but you never know.
8. Because we're going to pack 24 hours of goodness into 8 hours.
We are.
And we don't even have to lie about that, because you said we're starting at 4 p.m., but it's 5 p.m. somewhere else and 6 somewhere else. And
sure. 4 p.m.
all the way around the clock. So we're going to do 24 hours worth of stuff every hour.
Every hour. So that's going to be great. We've got
Spill the beans, Gary. Who's going to be on?
Oh, man. No, I can't do that.
Didn't you say Matthew M. was going to be on?
Matthew M. McConaughey?
I didn't say that. I just said Matthew M.
Oh, okay. Good day from Australia.
That's right. It's lunchtime for them there.
It is. We're having a Wednesday lunch.
Wednesday lunch.
It's a little later. I think it's Wednesday into the afternoon of Wednesday there.
That's right.
Thanks everybody for being on tonight. Oh wow, it's a root beer float, really? Dang.
My wife loves me.
Oh man, that's awesome. Root beer float, can't beat that. Root beer float. Little Whataburger for those that are not familiar.
Did she get me? No, did she? Please tell me she got me a number 4.
Whataburger is incredible.
The burger chain.
It is the burger chain. Oh, 11 a.m. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was later than that. Okay. Thanks. 11 a.m. So there you go.
Nice. So,
all right. So I'm going to get out of the way for you guys. We do have some other things that are coming up soon.
Hey, stick with the news for a minute.
That we can announce. Are you still eating?
No. Play your news thing intro again and pay attention to the spinning of the Earth.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
So, what kind of orbit are we in?
That
could be a puzzle cache in its own.
It's a 2020. It's a 2020 orbit. Nothing's right.
That's right. So
Nothing is good there. So, but as I leave this to let Charles and Tom get started, I will leave you with this. Take it away.
there it is. All right. So part 2 to our symbols and
Languages.
Languages, which is, I guess, is symbols on this. So there is our ticking tracker. We'll give y'all the show to figure that out. If somebody in the chat room tonight figures this out, hey, jump in there and throw in your answer, and then we'll get you one of these coming your way.
There you go. Yes, there you go. You can win. You can win a Pathfinder 33.
That's right. One of my trackable tags.
Trackables.
So first,
and a coupon for Whataburger.
That's right. That's coming from Tom.
That'd be awesome.
But first person to get tonight's tracker correctly will get one of my trackables. We'll get your address at the end and get that emailed to you eventually.
Sounds like a plan.
Because,
you're not home yet, but you will be soon.
Yeah, because these are my luxurious.
That's your fancy digs for the week.
Yeah, in Albuquerque, crew QQQ. And I got a second to find today on a brand new bonus cache to an adventure lab that published today. So as soon as work was done, I had a notification set up and it went off at like lunchtime. And so second to find in a new state. So, hey, kind of neat.
Cool.
Gary, they're saying there's some invalid characters in your...
Nope.
Bam! Take that, Jeff.
Not invalid.
In the face.
They're not Canadian characters in.
They're not what you think they are.
So into symbols. Symbols can be used in place of letters.
They could be. I'll take a look.
This first cache that we're going to show you, let me attempt to do this here. Most of these caches that we're going to show to you tonight are archived for one reason or another. So, don't get your hopes up. A good majority of these, I think over half of them are archived now.
How did you go about searching for these kind? Because I had to do a lot of mine from memory.
I went and all of the ones that I pulled for the show tonight are ones that I have solved and are on a solved puzzle cache list of mine. I went back into my puzzle cache finds and found where I had found them and whatnot. This one is a cache that's located in Hawaii.
I'll fix the banner, by the way, in a minute. Go ahead. You keep going.
I'm going to keep going.
But I think I know what happened. So go ahead.
This cache is in Hawaii. It's archived now. But these are Semaphore Flags. There is plenty of places. If you go to Geocaching Toolbox, there is a Semaphore Flags. If you scroll down the page, down on the lower third of the main front page is some other help with some of this, and Semaphore Flags is one of those where it can go in and look at it. This one is tricky because you see the guy goes through the motions pretty quick, but then he sits there and pauses, and then goes through a bunch and then pauses. That's because it's the same character 2 times in a row. So when you see him get there and pause and then go back to doing it, that's because the person who created this had 2 characters in a row, so there were 2 6s in a row. But this was a neat cache to solve. I helped some friends who were going on a trip to Hawaii to solve this, and then I told them that they had to sign my name to the cache log. And so that's how I have my one and only find in Hawaii. But Semaphore Flags is, if you can go in and get one of these created and embedded into a cache page, this is a fun way to use symbols. Most people who don't live near the coast or probably don't have a strong shipping background. I say shipping, boating, naval, Coast Guard, stuff like that, probably wouldn't be able to. You'd probably look at it like I did and was like, I don't know what that is. Thankfully, my wife knew what it was because she had gone to the Maritime Academy in California, and so she was like, "Oh, well, that's this," and so then I figured out how to translate it. But Semaphore Flags is a good way to get some of these done. So, which is our first round at this for the night. So
very cool.
So I'm going to assume that's a GIF that's playing.
Yeah, I would assume so. Either that or he's created a. Can you do it with a PNG?
Oh, to make it, I think it's
a PNG file where you layer multiple layers on top and then run all of them all consecutive, one behind the images, one behind the other, like a slideshow.
I thought that's what a GIF was. But I don't know. I'm not that technical, but
you could probably do it as a GIF file, but it more than likely for the cache page was probably a PNG that was layered on top. The people who create those maps of counties as they found them.
There we go. Jeff saying PNG is just one image. GIF can be animated. So I was going to jump in and how I would solve that, because that guy's going way too fast for me. I'm too old. I can't keep up with him.
Oh,
I would get that file and run it through a GIF editor and slow it down, or look at the individual things and then translate it from there.
Yeah, I think what I did was recorded it on my phone and then played it back in slow motion. And then when I ended up 1 number or 2 numbers short at the end, then I had to go back and time them. And I played them to where each one was 3 seconds long before it jumped to the next one. And I realized that he was holding a couple of those for like 6 seconds. And so I was like, oh, so that's how you do that. So that's kind of where my corrections on this came, where he had 2 6s in a row or, 2 4s in a row, whatnot. So, yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, because like I said, I'd have to put it in some kind of editor or do like you did, film it and play it back slow, because I couldn't keep up with that dude.
Yeah, I
didn't write that fast. My memory's not that long. Squirrel.
All right, this is one, Tom, that you threw in.
Puzzle. That must have been in Blanco.
And this cache is also archived. So this is this is a combination of several things. Morse code in the beginning.
Oh yeah. That's very cool.
And then these are
I believe that's International Maritime Flags.
yeah.
Ooh. There's something cool.
There's something that you definitely don't see every day unless you are
That's for sure.
unless you're a cruise fanatic.
Right.
You're probably
I have a friend who boats around the world. Sorry, he probably has seen those. That's his job. His job is to boat around the world. How about that?
I'd take it in a heartbeat.
So the third flag on the top row, that's nothing to do with Japan, and the second one's not Maryland, and
Right. Ooh, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So again, there are, of course, as always, our help for you guys in this, your resources, which are going to be in the show notes, are omniglot.com, the decode.fr/en, the Boxerin trick. How do you say that one, Gary?
The
BO.
Yeah, that's Box and Treek.
Yep. You can also
somebody tell us we're wrong.
Yeah. Prove us wrong.
You can go to the geocachingpuzzleoftheday.blogspot.com, the ref.wikibruce.com is a good place to go.
I don't know about that one. That one's that's kind of lame.
He's questionable.
I'm kidding. That's a good one. I'm even
Lingo Jam, which is a new one. We'll show you Lingo Jam here in a little bit.
Yep.
And as always, the geocachingtoolbox.com has almost all of these flags and symbols that we'll show you tonight at some level on them. So there you go.
Yep.
If those were individual pictures there of those flags, you could do an image search and probably bring one up and kind of tell you what it is, give you a good idea what it is.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Let's see. Oh, this is the one that's over in the that I had to open for whatever reason. I've tried to open this one several times and was not able to open it in Chrome.
Ooh, yeah, it can happen.
So I had to open it in Internet Explorer. Let me see.
Trying to see if I could. No, can't do that.
Let's see if this works without getting everybody crazy. All right, so for whatever reason, I couldn't bring the images when I tried to open this in Chrome. Gave me broken image URL symbols, but here it is in Internet Explorer. And for whatever reason, it opened just fine in Internet Explorer. Tom said he opened it in Edge, and it opened up just fine in Edge. When I opened up the cache page in the official geocaching app and in Cachely, it opened just fine. So it could be that it's my computer that wouldn't open it in Chrome, which is very possible. But for whatever reason, I couldn't. So this, again, is your... these are examples of your international maritime flags. There are the banner, the pennant style ones that we saw on the previous cache page. And then there are also a set of square flags. These obviously are the square flags, and they all represent a different number. Just showing you some varieties that you may see for some of this. All of these symbols so far that we have shown can be found on geocachingtoolbox.com. So that is kind of the catch-all resource for all of these. But these are your Square, International, Maritime.
Gary, I kind of wish your buddy who sails around the world was on the show now, because then
Yeah, we get some more info.
I would ask, okay, what do they spell out with these things? What do they do?
Let's see if he's available. No, I'm
I
kidding.
mean, like, I've only been on 2 cruises, but I remember seeing these flags up on cruise ships, and it's like,
Right.
are they telling me free beer in the lounge if you say the secret word or something? Or
Yes, maybe so. Bring that one back up again real quick, Charles. I got some.
Oh, now he's gonna.
Because again, I'm learning, and I want you guys to be able to. Yeah, it is broken in Chrome because I get a Chrome. It's broken in mine too when I do Chrome.
Oh, yes.
So you're okay.
Maybe it's the guy who the cache owner has something against Chrome, and he just wrote it so.
Oh, hey, yeah. There's a intriguing now, huh? Do you guys know if this checker is still valid? It's GeoCheck. Geocheck.org. Is that still?
Yeah, that still works.
Is it still work? Okay.
It brought up a valid page for me. Here's the checker page.
Okay, cool.
So I know that some of the checkers, I ran into this the other day trying to solve a puzzle in St. George, Utah, where I'm long-term staying at, except for this week and next week. But there was a checker that they had that the checker was no longer a viable website. So,
I know that's for another show.
Probably events.
Events is one that, and GeoChecker, but we definitely I think you boys should do a show on checkers because there's a lot more than just checking chords that you can do with them.
There is, in fact, the bonus cache to the adventure lab that I did today. I was the second person to do the adventure lab and the second person to find the bonus cache, but it had you go to Certitude and you had to type it in Certitude. It gave, or at least in the, what is the little view book, the notebook thing at the end of
right.
stage in an adventure lab.
Yeah.
Word, and you had to put all 5 of these words into Certitude. And once you put all 5 words in like a sentence and hit the Certitude button, it gave you coordinates for the final. So you don't always have to put in, it could be just random stuff.
Now hang on to that. That's for another show.
But we'll come back to that.
I'll throw this out just for notes for the other show. You can have multiple Certitudes on one cache page.
Oh, really? Oh man, I'm intrigued. Okay, keep it for another time. I like to hear about that. All right.
So this is the next one. And so there you go.
Now that's different.
I'm trying to remember what the deal was with this one.
What is that?
Which one is that?
That's this one that you threw in the show notes.
Oh, I did the mixed bag?
No, this is one that
that Tom put in?
Yeah, and it's been archived as well, but it's called Is This an International Number? GC108TB.
I'll throw that in the show notes just so people can.
So
play along at home.
Yeah.
Play along at home. I probably should have put the whole thing. It'd been easier for people, maybe. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
So the translated digits, looking at the hint, it says the translated digits are 2, 2, 5, 2, 7, 7, 1, and 0. The order is blowing in the wind.
So you had to know the number to go to the flag, and then you had to go to ground zero on this one, and they had all these flags flying. And when you put the flags in the right order with the numbers here, it gave you the coordinates.
Oh, really?
So that's one of those where the cache may not be at the posted coordinates, but you probably need to take your hind end down there to get you a look-see. I have a puzzle cache similar to this that it doesn't, that going to ground zero where I have the actual icon on the map actually gives you a physical hint for how to solve the puzzle cache. So was one of those things where I put on the cache page, you don't need to go to ground zero, but it highly would probably help you solve the puzzle, and it gives you a place to sit because there's a bench there right at the base of a flagpole. So
Got these the nation, the language, the digit, pronunciation.
And Jeff solved the Chrome issue with the pictures.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll bring it up. It says they're broken because the HTML IMG tag is requesting the image from HTTP. It's not a secure server. It's not HTTPS. Chrome is stricter. Blocks requests to unsecured URLs. There you go.
well, there you have it.
Burnt Turtles had an interesting thing. He says he found a lab bonus where the cache owners made dancing men out of their bodies in the journal pages. So people are standing there like with their hands, because dancing men's got this kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they kind of like standing with their
and they've got their legs kicked up.
Yeah, legs are kicked and all that stuff.
They got an arm out to the side.
It's awesome.
Or they're like this.
Yeah.
And the dancing men is fun because most people, there are different symbols for capital letters and lowercase letters, right? So you could totally do, like your north coordinates in the uppercase fonts only.
Yeah.
Do the west coordinates in the lowercase font, and it really will throw people because they'll be like, if the source that they're looking at only has one of the alphabets, not all of the characters are going to be there.
Right.
So,
Doesn't dancing men have some of them where they're standing on their heads?
Yes. Here, I got
okay.
It
So
see it.
I'd have to do that laying on the ground. I ain't standing on my head to do a cache. I'll end up in the hospital.
There's a Google search of the dancing men. The
right,
one over here in the corner.
Yeah. So if you look to this image that's on the center left over here, that one right there, Gary.
This one here.
See how there's so the one has like a box in his hand or an extra little loop on his foot, or
right.
That's the difference between capital letters and lowercase letters in the Dancing Men font.
Oh, okay.
If people aren't, if you see the ones that have all of the flags or boxes or the extra little hooks on their feet,
right,
that tells you that that's the capital or the lowercase letters, and the ones that don't have the boxes in his hands,
right,
are all the lowercase letters. So these are all this image that you brought up.
Yeah,
all lowercase letters. And if you click on the one to that one right there, that one is all uppercase letters.
Okay.
So
cool.
He's got a flag, the ones with the flags in his hand, and the first image, the first character.
Interesting.
So the first character and the seventh character that have the extra little hooks on his feet, those are capital letters as well.
Oh, okay.
If you didn't know that and you're sitting there looking, so that one had both uppercase and lowercase letters in the font that you're looking at. So if you didn't know to look for both uppercase and lowercase letters, then you'd sit there and be like, well, this is incomplete or
Right.
whatnot. So
Fascinating.
So if uppercase they got something in their hand all the time, you could pretend to be doing a rhythmic dance and really you're spelling something out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
So I guess Sherlock Holmes used this at one point too.
That's where it came from.
Okay, cool. There you go. Neat. Oh, that crazy thing. That doesn't help me. You need you gotta have a whole.
That's
gotta
the
have to
John
hold-
Travolta one there.
And remember that they put this on what is the deal that NASA just launched back up into space, the Mars rover?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There is dancing men on the Mars rover, and Jeff and I caught it. Jeff caught it before I did, but they misspelled. There's a wrong character in
Oh,
there.
right. I remember you mentioned that.
NASA put the wrong character on the Mars rover when they launched it out there. They got it.
It
wrong.
doesn't say made in China or something.
No, but they got
No, not that far off.
one of the characters was wrong. Just one. But it was funny because I was sitting there going through and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
I went back and looked at my uppercase alphabet, my lowercase alphabet, and then I was like, this isn't in either of them. And so NASA made up their own character for whatever it was, like a G or a J, whatever the letter was, completely wrong. So, all right. So this,
Maybe it's that funny G that's got two circles and
yeah, the what is the German O with the two dots?
oh, that's
Yeah.
umlauts.
Yeah, the umlauts. So, all right. So this one is.
I probably have a photo. I'm looking for that photo. Go ahead.
This one is
That one's a bad railroad track.
what we typically call Japanese math, right?
Is this that new math stuff that everybody's complaining about?
It's not that.
This isn't that. But I called my brother who has a math degree from the University of Texas and said, hey, and he's pretty slick at puzzles. I said, I'm not sure what this is. And he looked at it and was like, oh, that's that Japanese multiplication. I was like, Japanese multiplication? There is a way to do this that makes sense. Let me pull up this.
Right now, it looks like pickup sticks played by somebody with OCD.
It does. So let me clarify this. Let me remove this one. I'll add this one back in here in a moment. But let me show you how to solve this. And that is over on the Japanese multiplication method. Right? So
Oh, wow.
shows you
This.
this shows you 23 times 12 in the first block. And you solve it going from 6 to 2. So you solve it backwards, right? So when you solve this, you solve this first. So how many line intersections you have is 6. That is your last digit, 6. Then you move to the middle and you go 4 plus 3, right, is 7.
Yep.
One gives you 2. So 23 times 12, you bust out your calculator, is 276.
Well, that's cool.
You work from right to left as you're doing this, because in a situation like this second one, where you end up with 12 dots, well, you put your 2 down there and you carry your 1 over, right? And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus your 1 you carried over is 11.
So that's your 1 digit.
Your
or
1
You're
down.
in the tens location. Okay.
Right. And then you carry your second, your additional 1 over one more place. And you go 2 plus 1 equals 3. So then 24 times 13 is 312.
Wow.
So this is Japanese visual multiplication. I've come across several puzzles like this in the past. So now
It's like swimming fish.
Right. So now looking at this, let's let me pull this out and we'll go back to the geocache and share this, right?
Oh, right.
As you're looking at this, you in the one puzzle, it was canted sideways, right? This guy didn't do it that way, but you still have to do it like that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5, but this ends up being the last digit that you do. So you have to count these lines crossed first, which is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. What is that? Ends up being 21. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, right? So 27, so your number would be a 7, carry your 2, right?
Right.
And then you go 1, 2, let's go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15,
Plus
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 24 plus your 2 that you carried. So there's 26. So now your middle number is 6, and you carry your 2. This group up here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus your 2 gives you 7, right?
Right.
So then you come to this thing.
Come to this thing.
So you've got this one, and then this section and this section makes your middle, and then you have this one up here at the top, right? So you go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, right? So 21, so 1, carry your 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 2 is 8, because this is 0. How many lines do you have crossing down here? Is 0.
Oh, right.
Right?
Right.
So how many line intersections do you have up here in this top corner? Is
Also
still
0.
Right? So the middle number is 8, and the first number is 0. Right? When you're solving for this, and if you didn't know that this was, let me see. Yeah, and so this one is archived as well. But you can see here are the corrected coordinates. So if you look at just the west coordinates that we solved second, you have 21, right? So there's your 1, carry your 2, you have 6.
Right.
Your 2 gives you 8. And then you have 0 for this third digit, right? So there's a easy way to do a kind of neat puzzle, and if most people in the area don't understand what it is, this one was called "Got Your Lines Crossed."
Yeah, it's GC4 X as in X Files, 2 Y as in Yuma.
Okay, you found it, so I have to ask. I'm looking at the hint, and it said you should find yourself in the alley behind a little shopping strip. Don't pass gas.
So this was
Is it on a gas meter or near one?
It was on a it was they had a PVC pipe that was going down into the ground to protect the pipe from the asphalt when they laid the asphalt, and it was down in the down in that pipe beside the gas inlet pipe for the gas meter. But yeah, it was right there next to a gas meter.
Yeah, I had to think a minute. I thought that seems weird, and then I thought, okay, well maybe it's got to make some sense at ground zero. So
Yeah, it was behind. There was like a Home Depot at one end, and then at one corner of the parking lot, and then on the other end was like a pizza joint and a sewing place and a this. But the pizza joint that was there at the end had to have gas for their pizza ovens.
So that's gas meter. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it was tucked down in the ground next to the underneath the gas meter.
wood fired ovens for the pizza. Oh, skip it.
You know.
Skip it.
Pizza Ninja liked it. Speaking of pizza,
I think I'm probably going to steal this puzzle idea myself.
holy math, Batman.
That's right.
Pizza
So
Ninja.
let's see. The next one, everybody's going to know what these next ones are.
Do you want to put everybody out of their misery on our puzzle?
No.
Wait?
Nobody's answered.
We'll wait.
Let it keep scrolling.
Okay. We'll let it simmer.
That's
We'll
right.
let it stew.
Right.
We'll let it. We'll make a stew out of it.
A bomb. And then there's one towards the end where it looks like you lit the fuse.
That's right. It does look like that.
This one was one that we found up in Alaska that's been archived. So I'm okay with showing this.
Let's see if I can.
And this QR code actually really works. So
see if I can do it.
Leave it there a minute.
Oh, it worked.
It does work, and it will give you the final coordinates if you have a QR code reader or
code reader. Yeah.
If you have a newer than an iPhone 7 or newer than a Samsung Galaxy S8, if you just open the camera and pull the QR code, it automatically will read it, right? And it will. And the cache owner has provided you a hint in there. It gives you the coordinates and whatnot.
Cool.
So they have it automatically set up for this. I tried to find one of these because I know some friends of ours from East Texas, Visiting Vet Tech has.
Yes.
She has some that are called smartphone cache number 1 through I think 4.
Yes.
I remember that now. I've done those.
Yeah. So out there, outside of Jacksonville, Texas, she's got a couple of these that you have to have a smartphone in order to do. Now her cache page is blank, but when you get to ground zero, she actually has a QR code there taped to a box or laminated. I forget what it is, but she's got a QR code there that you have to scan in order to figure out where the final is. So this is one. We've got another one. Let me.
And there are things online. I will add it to the show notes. But
you know what? I just remembered one that I don't think I put up. I mean, it is a good.
Yes, your scan works.
All right, where'd my GSAC go? Well, this ain't good. Oh, that's my work one. No wonder I can't.
All right, so let me pull up this other one. This is another QR code cache. So this one also has been archived. And when you can scan this one as well. But when you scan this one, it doesn't give you the coordinates for the final. It brings up something that says, congratulations, you have all the tools you need. Now go to ground zero. This guy also, like Visiting Vet Tech, has the QR code that you need to get to the final at ground zero. So when you scan this QR code, all it'll tell you is that, congratulations, you've got all of the tools required to find the cache. Now get off the couch. or something to that effect, right?
Right.
So, there is that one as well, and there are numerous other caches like this. We just pulled a couple, but don't.
Hey, bring this one up.
Oh, hang
I
on.
forgot about this one. This one's a
Okay.
QR that'll mess with your head.
All right, what's GC code?
38YYT.
Direwolf took a shot at it, but that is incorrect. But he just took a guess, I can tell.
Holy buckets.
That is not the correct answer, by the way.
Neither is Holy Buckets.
Holy buckets doesn't work either.
All right, let me share this one. As Cash Canada, who was recently on the show, would say, "Holy doodle."
Holy doodle.
There's your QR. Yeah.
Oh wow, what is that? Is that mellow? Is it the mellow one?
No, the last one we showed was mellow. This
okay.
This one's not in the show notes. We'll add it at the end.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need to add this one.
For those.
Where is the cache?
And this one, I have not found it. It is still an active cache.
Still active, okay. There you go.
So, and let's see. It is in Texas. So is this down in the
Texas
greater San Antonio area?
Scroll all the way down to the bottom.
Windcrest, Converse. All right, so it's north of San Antonio, between San Antonio and or headed out the north end of San Antonio.
Oh, look, there's Selma.
Bottom.
There's Selma. I wonder whose that is. I wonder who possibly could live out there.
First Sergeant was the first to find.
Oh, I missed it. Darn.
Oh, isn't yours? Okay.
Oh, and you got second to find. I got a second to find today. There's nothing wrong with being second.
Just first loser. Well, no,
That's right.
The first one's a coordinate checker. They verify the coordinates are right for everybody else.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. All right, so that's a crazy QR. That would probably
If I remember right, I had to print that out, cut out the different stuff, and scan each one individually.
Oh, that's funny. Carrie Wynn has found this. She's a cacher up here in Colorado, where I live.
She was down here for a while.
Yeah. So, it's a 4, 3.5. So it's not a 5. I was sitting there thinking that maybe it was gonna be.
Well, back when this thing first came out, those were QR codes were strange when they first came out. Not everybody knew what they were.
They were, and a lot of people didn't understand how to read them. So this is another thing that people may not understand how to read or what it is. But let's share this with you guys. So there's your bundle.
Okay.
Which one is this?
This one is one that I found up in Delaware when I was up there. It's called Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down.
Let me see. It's GC17RHT. It's called Eastbound and Down. Oh no, is it in Ohio? Maybe in Ohio. Let me look. It is in Ohio, so not in Delaware. A different one of these that I have found that's on this list is in Delaware. But this one is in Ohio. I had to call my brother, who has a master's in the University of Texas, but he is also an over-the-road truck driver.
Hazmat symbols.
Hazmat symbols. And each one of them.
Oh, cool.
So the hard part about this, and we'll see it on the next cache that we share. But the next cache that we share, in fact, let's go ahead. we'll hold off on that. But there is a problem with this geocache page.
Oh,
And in my log, I wrote that there was a problem with this.
interesting.
And so let's get out of this and let's share the next cache because it will highlight the problem with this. All right. So what is the name of this cache, Gary?
Hazardous Cargo 1966.
What do you think that date? Do you think that date matters?
Sure.
Why?
It's in the title.
It is. So the problem with the cache page that we were just showing is that in 1967, there was a date to the National Transportation Safety stuff that changed the identification for placards.
Oh.
Another one that was changed, it was changed twice in the 70s. It was changed in the 80s. It was changed like 5 times in the 90s, right? And so on the last cache page, if you didn't know which year placards to look at,
I'd have been baffled.
You're gonna get one symbol that you're not gonna find because it's no longer there. So
Cash for Nick is the winner, by the way.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
Way to go, Cash for Nick. These are a bunch of symbols.
Did he translate it, or did he just give up and just say it's a bunch of symbols?
No, I think they translate it because that's the answer.
That is what it says. That is what our ticking scroller does say. So congratulations. That we're 53 minutes in, and that's pretty quick.
There it is. These are a bunch of symbols. That's the Wingdings translator, by the way. So, all right, we'll mention that page later. Go ahead. All right, back to the. So, see, I'm bad about this. This is something you guys obviously are good at, being puzzle guys. But I say that, but I would have ignored that 1966. I just rolled right by it.
Right. So
when somebody puts a date on there like that, it's there for a reason.
I know. I need to be.
Right. So as you scroll down through this, it gives you, a bunch of stuff, but you need to take A, B, C, D, E, and F, right? And all of these liquefied petroleum gas, lithium batteries, gasoline, sulfuric acid, amyl nitrate. So you need to take all of these and convert them to a number. Like if you see the front of this semi truck right here, down here in this bottom corner in his placard, he has 1223. Well, 1223 is a number associated with a particular chemical, whether it be gasoline, diesel, ammonium nitrate, whatever that may be. Every chemical that's hauled on the U.S. highway system is assigned a number, right?
Right.
Our UPS truck here, who's probably carrying lithium batteries, right, has a number. When you go to the post office and they ask you when you're sending a box, do you have anything in here fragile, perishable, hazardous, like lithium batteries, perfume, and whatnot? The lithium batteries is important because lithium batteries can only be shipped ground. You cannot airship lithium batteries.
That's right. Because they ask you when you every time I send a coin out or whatever, they always, when I'm at the post office, they ask me if there's anything lithium, etc.
Right. And so that tells them that it has to go ground. I'm doing a job working in telecommunications, and we ship batteries all the time. It's, or computers back and forth, and the computers have lithium batteries in them. And so we have to make sure that we send them ground. When the federal government gets new computers from Dell or whoever the contract awardee is for the government contracts, all of a sudden we'll get a ton of boxes when we do order with, that's got a giant hazard placard on it, and it came on a pallet from, in a ship, in a trucking cargo, because they can't send it air that way. So, but this one tells you that you have to take A plus B plus C divided by 1,000, gives you your X dot XXX, and D plus E minus F divided by 1,000 will give you, Y dot YYY for A, B, and C, and X dot XXX for D, E, and F. And you can see where you have to be able to plug it in right here on the cache page to get to wherever the cache is, the final container is hidden at. So there you go.
I put it in the show notes too, or in the chat for people if they want to take a look at it.
I should know the number for the sulfuric, but it's been 16, 17 years since I've had to deal with it.
Right. So the last one that I showed, that the first one that we showed that has the hazardous cargo placards, that one has one that now is out of date that's not used anymore. I solved the entire puzzle minus one symbol, but it was one of those digits where it number was, right? And so
1966.
So there were several years, and my brother and I went back and forth, and because he's an over-the-road truck driver, his company has a electronic database as the placards changed, and he was get onto his company's website and go back through the history of it and figure out what year we were looking for and what number is associated with that placard. So
I don't know, Charles, if you could give away 2 path tags, but technically the correct answer is these are a bunch of symbols, ... That's technically the correct answer. So
I got yeah. So
Darren, if you want to send us, email us at puzzletalkpodcast@gmail.com. We will get your information and we'll send you one as well as Nicole. Nicole was the winner of the first one, but she did not put, I don't think she put it. See, she put these are a bunch of symbols. She forgot the dots. So we'll give away a couple. How's that?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Oh man, a postage to Australia is going to be, hey, look at Australia. It's going to take it a while to get there.
It's not bad though. It's not as bad as you think. I sent stuff to Australia.
No, I've sent stuff to Australia.
But it's not going to go ground.
It's not gonna go ground.
Yeah, it's going on the slow boat. But I sent some stuff to Canada after we played the game that we played on the Tuesday before we started doing regular shows on Tuesday.
Oh yeah. The
geocaching game.
Yeah.
I sent one of these to each of the people who was on the show with me, and
one went overseas.
One of them went to Canada.
Okay.
And she finally sent me back a message like 3.5 weeks after I put it in.
No.
It said it made it. I was like, ooh, 3.5.
Why is it so hard for it to go from?
I don't.
Basically, you could have walked it. Well, you couldn't walk it there. You could have driven there easily. Easily.
Except the border was closed.
Well, that's true. That kind of ruins things.
But they quarantined it for 2 weeks somewhere in a warehouse.
Oh gosh, yes. So good job. You are correct. He did it. They're correct. That's okay.
All right.
So
this is a little different, but this is still falls in the realm of symbols. Even though the cache is somewhat different.
Ooh.
So,
Musica.
music.
Music.
I saw one the other day where we were in the puzzle had already been solved, and I was on a Facebook puzzle group and just cruised by because somebody had tagged me in a post, and it had major and minor chords. So it was A minor or F major or was something like that, and that led you somehow down the road to a cache. This one is this one was the same way. So you need to take each of these sections of music and do something with them to end up getting you to a cache. Now, this is at North 63 East 010.
Oh, Direwolf.
So
You may take some notes on this one. But huh. Where in the world is that? Where in the world are we?
Is it?
Keep going.
The UK? No, Norway.
Norway. Okay. Hello. Shout out to Norway.
Right? Yeah, Norway. I have.
Can I figure this out? Norway.
Norway. Oh, dang it. Where's the mute button for Tom? I can't find it.
Lee at Burnt Turtles. If it's music, it immediately goes on my ignore list.
Oh, come on. You can't ignore caches. You can.
So there was another one of these that I saw that was just percussion notes.
Oh, wow. Okay, right. Yeah, because drummers have different sheet music typically.
Right. And so you had to be able to look at it and be like, you had to count number of, I guess, drum beats in it. Somebody else solved it for me. But this one is in that same, different notes have different values, different number values, different chords, major and minor chords have different number values associated with them.
Sure.
And so that's how you get through this one. It is odd. You don't often find music notes or chords that make up puzzle caches. I had to hunt for this one. This one's not one that I've solved. It is still an active cache in Norway.
Yeah, well, here, let me share a screen then.
So, but that's a good idea, though, because if it's not something people do very often.
Right. So, all right, Tom, go ahead.
All right, let's see. Application.
But this one has been solved and found 50 times.
I have something else, too, for you guys after when you get a chance. I got.
All right, is it showing up? Because I can't
Yes.
see nothing.
Yes.
You're gonna get jiggy with it.
Getting jiggity with it. Yeah. There you go.
Get jiggity.
Yep.
And look at that. 5 times. Oh, and look, it's 17 miles from the house.
Have you got it? Have you found it?
There's Vince Rowe.
Oh, Vince did it. Good for Vince.
And Scooterino, he's an 80-year-old tree climbing
yeah,
looper guy.
Yeah, he is.
And look, yep, my name is not there.
You better solve that then.
Well, now that Charles knows how to figure these out, write this number down, Charles, and solve it for me.
What's this? How was it? What was the certitude number on it? You said there were five. Go down.
Yeah, 5 solves and 39
misses.
Correct answers.
Swings and misses.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, the Atlanta Braves did a swing and a miss.
Boy, they did. They came so close. So close.
The lady who put this out, she started out with just some real simple stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then she's just gone crazy. Oh, she puts out all kind of cool stuff. fact, somebody
Yeah.
earlier said they liked my puzzles that I put out, and it's like, no, what are they? Something about weird. That's so weird series or something with all
Okay.
musical instruments.
Right.
Yeah, that's the same person who did this one.
Yeah, Brenda, the Wild Rose of Texas.
Yeah.
I found some of her caches. She's got family up in Wyoming, and I found some of her caches up there, and was like, wait a second. Because normally she has that big giant yellow rose geo art and the Alamo geo art down south of San Antonio.
Right.
Yep.
But she puts out some amazing puzzles.
She's got some pretty creative hides too. They're not boring stuff.
Yeah.
I think I found some of hers this past weekend. We were in Abilene. I think she has some there.
Let's see. This is the last puzzle that I have queued up for the show tonight.
I have a picture I want to show that I know you can, and then we'll wrap up after that. But
this is Gary's kind of catch-all.
It's a mixed bag.
The mixed bag is that what I put it in the show?
Yeah, that's what we called it, the mixed bag.
So this one has a little bit of everything. So
this was suggested.
Seat of your britches while we scroll down through this thing.
Yeah, this was suggested, I think, by Ann Poe. Ann. I think her. Yeah. Ann Poe is her name, but I think her GC name is Poe Ann.
So
she has a puzzle for a highlight GC 91 FP1.
She charged $1 per hint. She'd be pretty rich on this one.
It's a how-to puzzle. It does a great job teaching you how to solve.
So it tells you in here that the first.
Trisha, which one were you looking for? This one? Or the last one? I could give that one. Oh, the last one. Tom, you have to tell me what that one is.
The jiggity is GC7KV5Q.
GC7
Kilo Victor 5 Quebec.
You're confusing me. GC, just say them. GC7
KV 5Q.
5Q. Okay, sorry.
And she's gonna figure it out and send me the.
She can help you.
Yeah.
No, she'll solve it, then she'll go, haha, solved it. Now you got to figure it out.
That's what I would do. So this one right here, obviously there's.
Yeah, it's kayak virtual 5 query geo alphabet.
What's the K?
This one has both Morse code.
Okay.
It has binary in it.
Bacon.
It has these crazy keys.
Yeah, what is that?
So
it is
I thought it just had 3 things in it, but it's got it presented different ways.
Got some Morse code. It's got some binary in there. You can see.
So he goes through the cache page and tells you what all is in here for the most part.
Right.
So Morse code. There's binary.
Right.
And
bacon.
Bacon. It's bacon.
Baconian. So it has a Baconian cipher in it.
That's for another show.
And then these are tips for solving the 2 thing ciphers. So
that's a Dr. Seuss thing, right? Thing 1 and
right.
thing 2.
Thing 1 and thing 2.
That's right. So groups of 5 may be bacon or binary. Groups of 8 may be binary. In some cases,
Interesting.
It may be a 5-bit binary, and the binary and bacon translation will be the same. So he goes through a lot of explaining how to solve this if you just take the time to read the cache page. Most people don't always take the time. And he gives you he gives you, like in some of these where you need a code word, he gives you some of these.
Oh, cool.
Right. So answers to the code translations in the code description. The Morse code translation is Morse code. The binary translation is binary code, and the Baconian translation is bacon. So,
Bacon. Sorry.
but there are these crazy emojis up in here.
Oh yeah.
And this brought up something that Gary shared with us earlier that we haven't been able to figure out. It was short notice. Thanks, Gary. And we couldn't find a cache built like this.
Right.
But let me stop sharing my screen and we'll let Gary. Do you have that?
Yeah.
The emoji.
Yeah. There's it's Lingo Jam.
And this is where the Lingo Jam from earlier in the show comes into play now.
Yeah, Lingo Jam is definitely one. If we could get that added to Wiki Bruce, that would be great. I think that would be. This is a really cool one, by the way. But yeah, Wingdings. They do suggest that you do, and that's something that Jeff pointed out is, depending on how you do this, you kind of need to. Let me pull up the. Oh dang it! I'll pull it up. Just one second. So let me pull up. You want me to pull up that page so we can kind of get a feel for it a little bit?
Yeah, pull up the emoji.
All right. I'll pull up the emoji one and see if that'll work. So I've got some. We'll give it a try. So let me go over here. So if you go back to on Lingo Jam, there's several things. Lingo Jam has some great stuff, by the way. That's really, I mean, it's got English to Shakespearean. It's got a Yoda translator, but it also has an emoji translator. Now, we don't know how good this is going to be, but we're going to try it. So English, okay, an emoji will appear here. So we're going to do it the opposite. Oh, wait, English goes here. Okay, I tried to do, I put the English here. Will it show? No.
No.
I guess the idea is that
Yeah, this only translates one way.
it translates one direction. But let me see. Let me try one. But you could possibly do it. It'd take you a little while, but you could put an emoji in and it tells you it's angry. So I don't know if you could.
But I don't think that matters on this one.
You don't think it does?
Uh-uh.
I'll just see if I can.
because
paste.
with Morse codes, it's just dots and dashes. You need two symbols. With binary, you just need two symbols. Baconian, you just need two symbols. So it doesn't matter what the symbols are. It's the order of the symbols.
Right.
So type angel in there where it says English goes here.
Okay.
Type in angel.
It does bring it up.
Okay. Give it a space and type devil.
Okay. I'm not sure what it's now, but the trick is, can you take a symbol and go the other direction? Because when I try to put an emoji in there, it automatically translates it.
Oh, right, because it gives you the emoji in English font.
Yeah, so like if I cut and pasted, I made a paste of one of the guys with the tongue sticking out. And if I put that in, he goes cheeky. So it just like automatically translated it, which might be helpful anyway. Because if you don't know what the emoji is,
right,
you know what I mean? So if you're creating something, then if you're going, if you're making a puzzle cache, and you're want to use emojis, you'd want to go from English to letting it tell you what the symbol is.
Right.
But if you cut and paste the symbol, it automatically puts in I can't.
Right.
If that helps.
Yeah. So type in there cool, COOL.
Cool.
Yeah, it gives you the guy with the sunglasses.
Those are symbols, yeah. So I guess if you look at the let me share the cache page real fast. We're not going to solve the whole thing here, but so if you were looking at those symbols, I guess you could somehow work through something.
Yeah, there's only 2 sets of symbols on every one of the lines. So
yeah,
right.
So there's got to be a way you can. I mean, there's something.
Translate it to binary, then translate it into something else.
And Anne's on who she turned us on to this puzzle, and she said she just got the FTF on that puzzle, so she knows how to do it. So there you go.
$1 a hint, you'll be Ann rich.
$1 a hint. Oh, that's great. Okay, the description. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Description of the translator explains what it's doing. Yeah. So there are. There's some definite things on that page. So definitely check that page out.
Yeah, the Lingo Jam. So lots of I'll get on and play with Lingo Jam and see if I can't figure out a way to make a cool, fun puzzle.
There's some interesting stuff on here. There's glitch text. I'm not familiar with glitch text, but
yeah.
Oh wow! Ooh, take a look at this real fast. I know we're getting. But check out some of the cool stuff you can do on Lingo Jam. Look at that thing. So I guess the idea is that so if I put in see how I made Tom all squiggly?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can see it pretty well. I don't know. You can't really hide. You can't really hide the word too well in there. Oh, that's an interesting idea. But Lingo Jam has several.
It's like the Matrix.
Yeah, but it's got Jar Jar Binks. But it's got.
Please tell me there's not sound with it.
Yeah, it has a robot voice generator. I don't know. You could, yeah. I mean, some people like to do try to put some audio on your puzzles. That's for another show. That's where I got the Wingdings one was in there. So that's in there. English to Ned Flanders. That's good. That's good stuff. Okay, so anyway, check out Lingo Jam. It looks to be interesting. But I do have one other thing I wanted to because Charles found this and I had no idea what it was. So we'll let Charles comment on this photo.
I don't know. I don't know. What did I get myself into here?
Do you remember that?
Yeah. So that's
what is this?
So this is the placard that is on part of the Mars rover for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory that you had. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head the guy's name, but what's the guy's name from Jet Propulsion Laboratory? The show.
Yeah, Dr. Beagle.
Yeah. So this is Morse code.
How is this Morse code?
So long dashes and short dashes.
Oh, okay. So
and you'll see it better.
Right. So this is right. So this is Morse code, the top portion and the bottom portion. Right. So there's your Morse code. But also on the Jet Propulsion Laboratories stuff that they sent up to Mars was the Dancing Man plaque. But this is
I couldn't find that for tonight, but yeah, it's on here.
But this is Morse code. And
but slick idea for a puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely. So Morse code doesn't always have to be dashes and dots. You can have long dashes and short dashes. So if you look at the second character up there, Tom, so that's the first character. Go to the next block. You can see there's a short and a long and a short, right?
Oh yeah, right here.
So those dashes that's a short and a long and a short.
Short.
So
okay.
Your dits and das and dits Morse code. Because that is the technical term for dots and dashes are dits and das.
Dits and das and dits.
That's right. So
das in my world is data acquisition handling system.
So if you go back and watch some of our very first shows, I put in there a link to a video about military Morse code and why it was important and why they did it a certain way. And the instructor goes through and talks to you about how Morse code is very rhythmic and that there is a pattern to your dits and your das and a pattern to the breaks in between characters. And so it doesn't all jumble together, but you have to have a rhythm to your dots and dashes.
Right.
So that the person on the other end of the line can understand it. And so they used to, when they were teaching you Morse code, they would have a metronome going in the room.
Oh, right.
That would kind of keep you
on a straight pattern, as it were.
Yeah. So it kept you in rhythm so that if for whatever reason you got jumbled doing it, you could take a pause and then back into it. Right. So there was a lot of that, but I saw that when the Jet Propulsion Laboratory released that image, and there's if you go and look online, if you just go and type in like Jet Propulsion Laboratory Morse code Mars rover, right, you're going to come up with a plethora of stuff because the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and NASA released that photo. That was on a giant PDF flyer that they had.
Yeah.
And that image got released to the public. And there were a bunch, if not that I go down the Reddit rabbit hole very often.
Subreddit.
Right? But there is a whole Reddit thing about the Jet Propulsion Laboratory's Mars rover and the Morse code that's on it and what it says. And it took a while for us to finally get a release image of the Dancing Man.
Yeah.
On the little gold plaque.
Yeah.
And then Jeff and I figured out that there was a wrong character. Because by the time I realized I was translating it and realized that there was a wrong character.
Yeah.
I'd gotten back into our big group chat to be like, hey, I found a typo.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeff was already in there and said, I found a typo.
Y'all found it almost the same time.
And so it was very funny that, and of course, if here's my shameless plug. If you follow my Instagram account at 3CharlesWatkins, I give away, and I know I'm behind, Burnt Turtles, don't hate me. I'm working on it. But I give away one of these trackables in the form of a puzzle every Tuesday. I'm behind a couple of weeks, and so I'll probably work on it as soon as we get done with the show, trying to get some of them published today. But every Tuesday, I try to publish a puzzle where I go out and actually hide one of these in the world. I've got several people in Mississippi, some people in New Zealand. So if you're a Kiwi down there, I'll have a couple of these headed to New Zealand. I've got some people up in Michigan, a couple of people in Canada who are going to hide one of these tags on my behalf
That's cool.
somewhere in the world, and then I publish a puzzle to that wherever that tag is hidden. And if you can solve the puzzle and you're first there, you can snag my tag.
That's right.
Gary, he left out of state.
Grab a Pathfinder.
No, I'm working on it.
Give him time. He's busy. He's a working man.
I had
I had anything about friends in Texas. I'm hurt.
He's got
I
lots
had
of
a
friends.
I had
Low plates.
110 of these tags made, and my goal was to take them all with me for the 2020 celebration and Woodstock and hand them out and the APE event up there in Washington, and that didn't happen. I got these 10 days before the lockdown for COVID stuff happened in March. Because I actually had some with me at Texas Challenge.
What's your full Instagram? People are asking about.
Oh, here, hang on. I'll put it in the
show notes. I mean, not the show notes. Put it in the chat room. Here you go.
So that is my Instagram account. That's also my Twitter account, but I only do the trackable giveaway on my Instagram account. And I've got a couple of puzzles on there that I have one on there that I left open that nobody has solved yet. And so I'm going to extend that if anybody can solve the puzzle that's on there, there's actually a computer program that's written that will solve it for you. But if you can solve the puzzle and send me a copy of the puzzle solved, a picture of it, then I'll send you one of my trackables as well. So to the first 3 or 5 people that can solve it without using the computer program. I've been working on it for when I got a hold of that puzzle. I've worked on it, I don't know, every day for 2 or 3 weeks and got about halfway through with it. And then kind of as I'd come back to it, I left it on my desktop, would open it in Paint and type in the new numbers in red font so that I knew they were numbers that I added to it.
Right.
And it took me, I don't know, it probably took me close to 6 weeks to solve that puzzle. And then I realized that, there's a computer program that, if I download this program and input everything into it correctly, it'll solve it for me.
Yes.
So I did it the hard way, but I haven't had anybody yet send me confirmation that they have solved that one yet. So
I'm laughing here because my first 2 puzzles I put out, I thought I was going to be tricky. So everybody knows binary and you know hexadecimal, and if you're a little deeper into it, octal. But really, you can make base whatever.
Really?
So I made 2 puzzles in different bases, and I figured it out by hand, and it took a while. I did it with an Excel spreadsheet, and it got pretty involved with what I did to figure out, 0 to 999, and so it took me a while, and I thought, man, it's going to take people forever to figure this out. Cache is published, and the next morning they were found. And I thought, how the crap did they do that? And I find out, there's apps online that'll do that for you.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue.
Right.
Yeah. So, So there you go.
Cool.
Good show, guys.
Y'all did great. That's fascinating. You learned something. I mean, I learned everything. I learned so much every time. How to solve and how that's the goal of the show, is not only how to solve, but how to create, because you can create and solve. I mean, that's the beauty of it. So
yeah, and as you get down that rabbit hole of solving more and creating more, you end up with your own ideas, or what you think are your own ideas, that or you look at something, you're like, oh man, that'd be really good if I just added a little twist to it. And so, it's fun to get out there and not only solve them, but then also put out new ones for the community to enjoy as well. So
What's fun is when you're the CEO and people ask you, they tell you what they did before and then ask you a hint. And, you usually go and give them a hint. But when
Sure.
you hear what they did to get there, that just
Oh,
gives you more ideas.
yeah, I've had people send me coordinates for cache that I had published in Wyoming, and I was like, no, you're not even in the right state.
Way off.
And they were like, but I was like, you tell me how you got there.
But
and
they're the correct coordinates. Why are you saying they're not the correct coordinates? These are the
Tell
correct
me how you
coordinates.
got there, because I'm going to make a puzzle out of that.
So, and man, they'll run down this rabbit hole, and you're like, all right. And then you sit there and tell them your very second step is where you messed up in this, and that at step 3 you would have solved this.
Instead,
and they've
deviated, right?
They've
Just a
done that with
few
it.
degrees off, and they went down that rabbit hole and kept going for miles.
Yeah,
and that kept changing the trajectory until they were way off.
Yeah. So next Tuesday, tune in for Gadget Talk.
Yes.
Gadget Talk is next Tuesday and the following Tuesday. Tom and I will be back for another round of Puzzle Talk on the 10th and the 17th of November.
Correct.
So tune in and check out the guys doing Gadget Talk. I go back and watch the shows, and I've got my boxes ready to go, and got some ideas that I'm going to reach out to Chad with and say, hey, how do I need to do some of this and some of that? And some things that I've reached out to him, he's like, oh yeah, there's already a library that has all of that written. All you got to do is download it and put it in your Arduino board. So I'm going to be working on some of that, but definitely check out our other podcasts on the network. Puzzle Talk is always a good time on the first and last Tuesdays of every month.
Gadget Talk, yep.
So check out Gadget Talk next Tuesday. And then, like I said, Tom and I will be back on the 10th and the 17th of November for our next iterations of Puzzle Talk.
There you go. Thanks, everybody.